Be ready. Start. The terms administration and governance at first glance appear to be one and the same, but in reality and in practice they are not. However, the terms are two sides of the same coin. While the word administration refers to the government, power, and files, the word governance pertains to community, service, and life. The power may be legislative, executive, political executive, or judiciary. Administration concerns more with statutes, rules, regulations, circulars, and enactments, whereas governance relates to proper and effective implementation of statutes, rules, regulations, circulars, and enactments for the welfare of subjects and towards the advancement of social justice. The word governance is of wider import than the word administration. In day to day usage for common man, both expressions are used interchangeably. The word governance means and includes administration but not vice versa. The United Nations Development Programme has defined the word governance broadly as the exercise of economic, political, and administrative authority to manage a country's affairs at all levels. It comprises the mechanisms, processes, and institutions through which citizens and groups articulate their interests, exercise their legal rights, meet their obligations, and mediate their differences. The introduction of these two terms can further be elaborated. Good governance often refers to the task of running the government in an effective manner. It is qualitatively and conceptually superior to just a good government. The right to a legitimate and accountable government, promotion of a society where the rule of law and fundamental human rights are respected, ensuring a socially and economically equitable society that is inclusive in nature are all inherent to the concept of good governance. Good governance depends on various factors. A government discharge of its sovereign functions has to discharge many constitutional obligations, and in discharge of these obligations, it should be capable of enabling and enhancing the power of the state for sustainable human development. It is essentially a package to strengthen institutions of the government and civil society with the objective of making governments more accountable, open and transparent, as well as democratic and participatory. For good governance, there should be a government which is stable and truly representative of the majority of the people, accelerates the economic growth and development, and ensures the welfare of all sections of society. In all this, the fact that transparency is also an important attribute of good governance must not be forgotten. Openness and the opportunity for public participation have emerged as universal principles of good governance. The interested group should be provided with opportunities to observe and contribute in the policy making of the state, where availability of relevant information would give them a chance to advance their ideas in the policy making process. However, at the same time, there is always the risk that groups with a vested interest could take advantage of the open decision making process to distort the policy. What is essential is not necessarily that everyone shall speak, but that everything worth saying shall be effectively said and heard. The common man is often not aware of true facts of many aspects, as the sources of information available to him are very limited. From the day of creation of this universe, every human being has been involved in one or the other avocation. This is necessary and required as one has to gain strength, both mental and physical, to work to earn one's livelihood and to live with human dignity. In the process of earning livelihood, etc., one has to come in contact with certain individuals, institutions, associations, companies, both government and non government, and private and public sectors. Apart from the associations, one has to undergo certain processes both in terms of law and practice. At this juncture, law comes into the picture, governing the field, contemplating terms and conditions, and in the process providing relief by way of a fine or a sentence for illegal or wrongdoings. In the good old days, human wants were the bare minimum of food, clothing, and shelter. As the days, months, and years rolled by, simple civil society changed, became complex. Now, in the 21st century, this complex civil society sees unlimited human wants and desires, even to the extent of endeavoring to live in space, developing space tourism and space stations, and outsourcing pregnancy. All this has become possible because of the advancement of science and technology, followed by human intellectual and creative power. At the same time, law has also developed at a fast pace, and now there are various special legislations. Of late, the Apex Court of India has suggested that the central government enact special legislation to legalize active euthanasia, medical assisted killing. The Apex Court of India, in the case of Srimati Aruna Shanbog, held in March 2011, that in the Indian context and under the law of the land, passive euthanasia is permissible but not active euthanasia. Thank you.